There you go.
So I'm getting there. I got a race in the fall. So
Good for you.
Yeah.
I am up to being able to swim a mile a day.
Swimming a mile is hard. We did that in boot camp. That's really hard. Really hard. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
No.
Neither was I. And I had a flight suit and boots and all that jazz. Anyway, we're going to run out of the opening music. Hey, everybody, I'm Kyle Ryssdal.
Okay.
Welcome back to Make Me Smart. Making today make sense and filling you in on random things that Kimberly and I are doing with our lives. That's it.
Yes, and I am Kimberly Adams. It's Happy Hour Friday, otherwise known as Economics on Tap. Was that good, Kai?
That was good. That was a good sip of beer. It's a good sip of beer. Look, I've certainly had the conversation with Molly. I don't know if I've had it with you, but Friday afternoons are what keep me going because I don't let myself have beer and stuff during the week because otherwise I can't run the 7.5 miles. So this is it for me. Fridays are it. This is my whole day.
That's an astonishing level of discipline. Good for you.
Have you met me?
Live stream is going.
That's good.
What? That you're disciplined? I know this.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right.
All right. Live stream. It's going. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in on YouTube and on Discord. And what's everybody drinking?
Wait. Ryan Simmons says, Kimberly, did you feel the earthquake today in Maryland? Was that near you? I mean, you're in the district, but still.
I did not feel said earthquake.
Okay. All right.
Which, I mean, I live in a building that's mostly concrete. It's pretty solid. But
all right. Fair enough. All right. Yeah. I'm having my usual on a Friday afternoon because I have things to do this afternoon, a Wolf Pup Session IPA from Golden Road Brewery right here in Los Angeles. You, on the other hand, are driving later this evening. Do I have that right? So
yes, I'm getting ready to go on a road trip with my mom as soon as we finish here. So I am having basically a fancified cherry Coke. So nice. I ordered grocery delivery for the first time in a long time yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And I ordered pomegranate juice and got tart cherry juice instead. And so I am using said tart cherry juice with Coke and some bitters to make my mocktail. And it's actually quite tasty.
All right. Okay. You know, it's funny. I love the way you just take whatever's in the cabinet and you're like, all right, I'm going to put some bitters in cherry Coke and we'll see what happens. Good for you.
No, I made cherry Coke. It was regular Coke, but yes. Okay, what is everybody drinking? Got old fashions. Nice. Michael in Houston was trying for a Sazerac, but he settled for an old fashioned. That's okay.
Oh, Sazerac's are good. I like Sazeracs.
Yeah. Somebody else was tweeting me earlier about.
Wait, we have somebody here from Japan. Sunita Darbe.
Oh,
7:30 in the morning in Japan. So coffee for me. That's so cool.
Lovely.
That's so cool.
I know we Space Dust IPA from Matthew Carroll.
A lot of that. I've seen a couple
Plantation.
of those. Yeah.
Oh, Nixon Plantation Rum and Diet Pepsi. Edward from Question Mark has a plain old ginger ale over there, which is also fine.
That's cool. That's awesome. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah. So
okay.
News.
So I will do my news, and then I want to go first because we should spend a little while on yours. Mine is it's a little bit lighter. So the United States government today came out with its unclassified report from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. It is a preliminary assessment on unidentified aerial phenomena, which for the life of me, I don't understand why we don't still call UFOs. But anyway, so look, those of us who are into this kind of thing, terrible branding, right? Have been waiting for this. It's a pity it's only 9 pages because you got to figure the classified appendices would go many, many pages. But here is my favorite part. They say unidentified aerial phenomena could be, and this is a quote, airborne clutter, that is to say stuff in the atmosphere that reflects off radar or sensors, natural atmospheric phenomena, USG, which is U.S. government, or U.S. industry developmental programs, foreign adversary systems, all of which so fine, and a catch-all other bin. And you know what's in the other? The other is where all the aliens are. That's where the aliens are.
That's where the aliens are.
I know.
Why can't you just say aliens? Well, I guess
I don't know.
Because people would that has a specific definition.
People would freak out. Yeah, people would just freak. There are space people hanging around, flying around in Nevada or wherever the hell it is. People would freak. Anyway, read this. It's a fun little read. Although, I need to be on the record about this. I do not believe we are alone in the universe. So that's my bias right there. So that's my first news item.
There was some movie that said if we were alone here, it would be a waste. What was that movie? I'm sure someone will tell me.
It's also not possible we're alone. It's not possible. The universe is really big. The universe is really big. So that's item 1 for me. Item 2, I just want to point out, picking up from yesterday where I said the infrastructure deal is not a deal. I was right. It's not a deal. Republicans are backing away from this thing. Mitch McConnell is doing the whole, well, he said he was going to veto, and I don't favor, whatever. That's my bad Mitch McConnell impersonation.
I love that, actually. I thought that was a great Mitch McConnell impersonation.
Yeah. I just.
The crowd tells me the movie I'm talking about was Contact, by the way.
Oh, really? I loved Contact. I don't remember that part, but yeah, that was a great movie.
It was a great movie.
That was a great movie.
You were right about infrastructure. And also, I thought it was very interesting, Pelosi coming out and saying no to this unless we also get the reconciliation, which again, as we talked about yesterday, the liberal wing of that party was not going to sign on to this unless they got their elements as well, which is why the reconciliation package, which was going to have all those things, is crucial. Okay.
That's exactly
so somebody on Discord wants to know if you're an X-Files fan.
I'm not, funnily enough. I think it's David Duchovny. I don't like David Duchovny.
Oh.
Big Gillian Anderson fan, although not of her in The Queen, where she did Margaret Thatcher way over the top, but that's a whole different podcast.
Will Morin is commenting that you've seen Contact, but not The Matrix. Is that true?
That is true. I've seen Contact, but not Matrix.
Interesting. Okay, so since this is my last time,
little judgy right there, Kimberly, but okay.
A lot judgy, actually. That was my Midwestern judgy that just came jumping out.
Oh my goodness!
It's like, interesting. Bless your little heart.
Yeah.
No. So I have 3 things because this is about to be my last time on here for a while, so I want to get through these. Can't go without mentioning the verdict, the sentencing in the Derek Chauvin trial. 22 and a half years for the murder of George Floyd. I would love to say something like big and important, but it still kind of feels empty because that's still a man's life that he and his family aren't getting back. And I also can't help but notice the way that the cycle has kind of predictably gone over this. We had this big reckoning about race in America, and then the backlash to the reckoning, which every Black person in America predicted was going to happen. Now we've got critical race theory debates, which we've talked about, and police officers resigning in some places because they don't like being identified as the enemy, and a lot of places saying that the defund the police movement is causing all of these problems. And so it's just not the end of anything, but it is a marker. So what do you think? What did you feel, if anything?
So look, I don't think 22 years and 3 months was long enough, right? I honestly think the judge should have thrown the book at him, which would have been 30 years, 36. I frankly get confused. So there's that. To your point about it being a marker, I think it is a marker. I think it's a really significant marker. I think that those of us with platforms and voices, have to keep talking about this stuff, because if we stop talking about it, then we're going to stop talking about it. And I think that's really critical. I also think that this has been a 400-year issue, and look, the struggle has been going on for 400 years, and we've had a hell of an 18 months in this country since George Floyd, or 14 months. But it can't stop. It just can't stop, and it's incumbent upon those of us who have the ability to keep it going. That's what I think.
And, it doesn't always go well. There's somebody in the YouTube chat saying now that they never listen to what a Black woman has to say. And not everybody wants to hear these things. And we get emails and letters saying that we're too woke on Marketplace because we choose to talk about these things. But you're right. This is why it's important, because people aren't used to hearing public figures talk so publicly about these issues. And so it's an adjustment for people. So anyway, that was number one. But also, as I'm talking about these issues that sprung up after the air quotes reckoning, the Justice Department today has filed a lawsuit against the Georgia voting law that passed. This is interesting because, we were talking about all these voting laws on Tuesday's show, and that was critical race theory previous week, Tuesday show about the voting laws. It's like it all blends together. And it's obviously the follow-up on what Merrick Garland said about, going after and investigating all of these laws and hiring more lawyers and all of that stuff. Anytime that the federal government sues a state for a law, it pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, goes directly to the Supreme Court. And so, isn't that right, Kai? You're staring at me.
Well, I know that state versus state conflicts go straight to the Supreme Court, right? They have original jurisdiction there. I don't know about the feds in the state.
Yeah, let me I'll look that up. But it'll be very interesting to follow those. I don't have a lot to say. I just wanted to mark it because we had that discussion about the voting laws. And I think that it will be a very busy time for the Justice Department as they go to try to track down where the flaws are in any of these laws. And we have a pretty conservative Supreme Court, and the court has historically ruled that states have a lot of power when it comes to voting laws. So I just think that'll be interesting to watch.
That's the whole that's the whole Republican argument, right? On the voting laws thing, right? We don't need the federal government stepping in and doing what are state responsibilities. That's the whole, it's federalism right there. And you're like, well, okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
I know I had a lot, but this is the last one.
No, go ahead.
Very quickly before we go to half full, half empty. All of mine are kind of downers, but this is a story from the Associated Press. They did an investigation of who is still dying of COVID. And to the surprise of almost no one, it's all of the people, almost entirely people who are unvaccinated. And there are still people dying of COVID-19. And it's really just so depressing that people don't have to die, and they are, because we're basically dealing with most of the people who are choosing not to get vaccinated. They skew towards Republican, they skew towards particular demographics, and literally politics is killing people, and the misinformation is killing people. And I don't know. It's so sad. I talked yesterday about people in my own family who are choosing not to get vaccinated, and it's so preventable.
I found out the other day there are people in my family who aren't getting vaccinated, and I was gobsmacked. It took me a minute to process. I was like, seriously? He's what? Yeah, it's craziness. What was I going? Oh yeah, I heard some public health official the other day. It might have been Fauci, or it might have been the director of public health here in Los Angeles County, Dr. Barbara Ferrer, who said this is now a pandemic of the unvaccinated, right? Because if you're vaccinated, you're generally protected from serious illness against the Delta variation and all of these things. But if you're not vaccinated, that's where the pandemic is going. And there are pockets of this country, there are pockets of this county that get a shot. Just get the shot. Get the freaking shot. Okay.
This is where I wish I had
Marketplace heartthrob Drew Job. There he goes. I didn't even have to call him out. He just did it. He just did it. Okay. Half full, half empty. Marketplace heartthrob Drew Jostad is in charge. Ready, begin.
Are you half full or half empty on going back to the movies?
Oh, interesting.
Half full. Half full.
Yeah, I'm half full as well.
Anti-movies for a long time, and I didn't think that there was going to be much. I didn't think I would miss it, but I do. And I didn't want to do it until there were way more people vaccinated. But now, I totally want to go to the movies because I like action films and sci-fi and all that stuff. And I want to see that on a big screen. I think my TV is 36 inches, and that doesn't do it.
F9 opens today, I think. You could stop on the way to wherever you're going with your mom. I'm just saying.
My mother didn't even like Hamilton. I'm pretty sure she's not going to like Fast and Furious.
No, really? Although truth be told, neither did my mother. I sold it to her so hard. I was like, Mom, you have to listen to this. It's amazing. It's life-changing. Blah, blah, blah. She's like, Yeah, Kai, I didn't really like it. I was like, oh God.
She can hear me talking about it right now. I'm sure she's going to yell at me after, but we went to see Hamilton and I was like, tears still streaming down my face after it was done. And I was like, what did you think? And she was like, it was a little bit too much rap for me.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah.
And she just asked me like 20 minutes ago about In the Heights. She was like, is it like Hamilton? Does it have a lot of rap? Should I watch it? It was because Hamilton was too much rap.
Oh my goodness. Moms.
Oh boy. Okay.
Moms. All right. Go ahead, Drew.
Wait, Kai, were you half full on that one?
Yeah, I'm half full. I'd go to the movies.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. There are rules here.
What do you like keeping? Is there a score?
No. Yeah, I have,
What? All right. Okay.
Are you half full or half empty on the big tech antitrust bills?
Well, so this is another one that from yesterday I am dubious about because we're a long way from anywhere, including getting through the United States Senate. I'm half full in the idea. I am 3/4 empty on the prospects.
I am half full on something actually getting done. Probably not what is in front of us now, but
probably.
It has bipartisan support for completely different reasons on each side, but everybody seems to be on board with something happening. Yep. Matthew Carroll says never going to happen. Okay, well, there's a mix. There's a mix.
Yep.
All right. Next topic is Britney Spears' conservatorship case.
Oh man,
all
heartbreaking,
the way empty. So
free Britney. I mean, it's craziness.
So it was very interesting. I followed this woman on Twitter who's a disabled activist, and I can't think of her exact handle, but she labels it crutches and spice. And she posts videos about how ableism shows up in different contexts. And one of the points that she made is that people being so offended and thinking how awful and unusual what's happening to Britney Spears is, are kind of diminishing that this happens to disabled people all the time. People who would like to have autonomy and control of themselves and their lives and their livelihood and their bodies because they've had a mental health crisis or because of some other issue, they have their power taken away from them. And so, what Britney Spears has inadvertently done is revealed a situation that's broader than herself. Obviously, the headline and her statement about not being able to remove an IUD and all these other things, it's really awful and traumatizing, and I feel badly for her. But I do think it's worth kind of acknowledging that this is such a broader issue that most people are probably thinking about for the first time. And a lot of people in the disabled community are kind of rightfully annoyed that this is what it took.
Yeah. Which actually, if I could just complete the circle here, it goes back to the George Floyd thing, right? I mean, Black people in America have for 400 years been face to face with so many of these issues. And now in the last 15 months, white America has gone, oh my God, this is terrible,
Yeah. Thank you very much to our colleagues for pointing out that it is Imani Barbarin who made that nice video, which I'm sure will be in the show notes.
Yeah. Yep. Drew.
All right. Listener Casper in Seattle wants to know if you're half full or half empty on Amazon Prime Day.
Half empty.
I'm a dues-paying Amazon Prime member, but the idea that a private company in the United States of America decided to establish a holiday and the American media went, hey, here's this new holiday. Let's advertise it for free on behalf of the richest man in the world is just nutty. That's it.
I went through an experiment a while back where I tried to not buy anything from Amazon for a whole year.
How'd it go?
Did you hear my mother?
And did you record it and turn it into a radio story? Oh, is that your mom? That's so funny. I thought it was something like I thought it was like a cat moving something. Oh, that's great.
That's my mom laughing. Sorry. That's okay.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good.
It was really challenging.
That's so funny.
It was really challenging. And
Yeah,
I
it's hard.
remember that,
You bet.
and this is just where I'm super random because I'm me. I was restocking my first aid kit, and there were these little like new suture, like instant stitches things. It's like a sticker where you put the sticker on and then you pull these little zip ties, and it makes like, instead of you getting stitches, it can like seal up a wound for you. And I wanted to buy it for my first aid kit because, again, I'm random and I'm always preparing for the zombie apocalypse. And
yeah, totally.
but they only sold them on Amazon, and their store was hosted on Amazon. And so I didn't get it. But yeah, I went a whole year without buying anything from Amazon. And no, I didn't turn it into a radio story because I didn't want to sound too bashy of a company that we cover all the time. But it was just sort of my own.
Well, yeah, but it was, I mean, you could hear how that story goes, right? You're like, okay, I need, these miracle sutures. Let me click. Oh no, damn. It's not, that would have been a great story. Oh, well, opportunity lost.
I think it was also an election year and I was doing other things.
Oh, well, could have been that. Yeah. Fair enough. Oh, are we done? Oh my goodness. I never count those things. Okay. I always think we have 5, but no, the script says 4. All right. Okay. So that's half empty. We are done with that. Thanks for your contributions, Drew Jostad, Marketplace Heartthrob.
Yes.
Back next week, of course. I think Molly's back. I don't actually know, but let's show up on Monday and we'll see what happens. In the meanwhile, send us your comments, questions, whatever you like. Email, voice memo. We'll take them all. MakeMeSmart@marketplace.org is where you can find us.
Yes, and thanks to all the people saying safe travels. I appreciate it. Make Me Smart is produced. Thank you. It's produced and directed by Marissa Cabrera. Today's program was engineered by, as we said, the heartthrob, Drew Jostad. I hope he doesn't mind us saying that. Sort of like when you used to make fun of Ben Tolliday all the time.
Stephen Bion does our favorite game, Half Full, Half Empty. Also does the YouTube live stream. I know Mel Rosenberg did the YouTube today. I don't know who did Half Full, Half Empty. But you know who does know? The senior producer of this podcast, Bridget Bodner. She knows. She knows everything.
She does.
I was having a conversation with a guy the other day, and